It's Tuesday, February 4th, 2020, and here's what's happening. Jamestown officials are speaking out following several shootings, plus how one group in Chautauqua County is breaking the stigma of mental health.
And we have dry scans on the radar today, but another impactful storm will be heading our way toward the end of the week. We'll talk about it next as the news starts right now.
From the team that puts coverage first, this is your source for breaking news. WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Our top story, officials here in Jamestown are asking for the public's cooperation following several shootings in the past few months. City of Jamestown Mayor Eddie Sundquist, during a press conference this morning, emphasized that it is important to update the community on what's happening.
We wanted to reassure the public that we are actively investigating these, that we are working, and more importantly, that we are starting a dialogue with the community. If there is discussions that want to be had, or if there are certain groups or even neighborhood watch groups that are getting together, please let us know. We want to engage in that dialogue, and we want to make sure that the public is aware that we are actively working to ensure these things do not happen on our city streets.
Now, Jamestown Police Chief Harry Snelling's updated several recent shooting incidences, including one at the Bullfrog Hotel Bar and Grill that happened in November.
Our shooting victim has retained an attorney. We have made multiple attempts to interview our shooting victim through his attorney with no response. So we've taken that investigation and we've turned it over to the district attorney's office for further review and consideration.
Now, the chief says his department has identified a suspect in the recent Hazard Street shooting case, although detectives still need to interview the victim who was hospitalized. Furthermore, Snelling says many of the shootings, which are connected, stem from clashes between Jamestown and Buffalo gang members who are selling drugs here. He says in recent years, home surveillance has proved to be a valuable tool for investigators. The chief says the community can reach out to the police department via their TIP 411 smartphone app or by calling 716-483-TIPS. The number is 483-TIPS. Other news we're following, the Chautauqua County Department of Health is reassuring residents that there are no known cases of the novel coronavirus in Chautauqua County and that the risk to the general public remains low. Additionally, health officials say they're prepared for outbreaks of the communicable disease. Officials say preventative measures for respiratory illnesses such as influenza and coronavirus include getting a flu shot and washing your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds after they are soiled. Additionally, officials say avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands, and avoid close contact with people who are sick. Stay home when you're sick. Cover your cough or sneeze into a tissue. Then be sure to throw that tissue away in the trash and clean the area with disinfectant. Now, according to health officials, there are several types of coronavirus. Most cause respiratory symptoms that are similar to the common cold with mild to moderate illness. Only SARS, MERS, and novel coronavirus frequently cause severe illnesses. And a City of Jamestown man is facing several charges after allegedly grabbing a woman by her neck during a domestic dispute last night. Jamestown police tell us they responded to a Grant Street address just after 7:30 p.m. for a reported domestic violence in progress. When officers arrived on scene, they say 51-year-old Willie Wright allegedly grabbed a female victim by her throat, making it difficult for her to breathe. Additionally, police say Wright pulled away from them multiple times when attempting to take him into custody, and he shouted he wasn't going to jail. Wright is charged with criminal obstruction of breathing and resisting arrest. Police say he was held at Jamestown City Jail pending arraignment in that case. Well, the Senate is set to hold a final vote on President Trump's impeachment on Wednesday, with his acquittal all but certain. But before those votes are cast, the president will address a joint session of Congress in his biggest speech of the year, the State of the Union. Suzanne Malvux reports from Washington.
President Trump will deliver his State of the Union address tonight, on the eve of Senate Republicans acquitting him. The reported theme for the president's speech, The Great American Comeback. And a senior Trump administration official tells CNN it will be forward-looking and optimistic. With the nation watching, Republican senators are urging the president to avoid talking about impeachment tonight.
You know, we want to make certain that we finish up this impeachment, that we move away from this, and that we get back to things that people want to focus on.
On the Senate floor, the House impeachment managers and the president's legal team made their closing arguments.
The president has done nothing wrong, and these types of impeachments must end. Reject these articles of impeachment.
History will not be kind to Donald Trump. I think we all know that. Every single vote, even a single vote by a single member, can change the course of history. It is said that a single man or woman of courage makes a majority. Is there one among you who will say, enough?
Those final pitches aimed at senators still on the fence, including Republicans Susan Collins and Mitt Romney, and red state Democrats Joe Manchin, Doug Jones, and Kyrsten Sinema.
I remain undecided on how I will vote.
Senator Lisa Murkowski, like many Republicans, denouncing the president's conduct with Ukraine, but refusing to remove the president.
The president's behavior was shameful and wrong. I cannot vote to convict. The Constitution provides for impeachment, but does not demand it in all instances.
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer saying tomorrow's vote on convicting the president should be an issue of conscience for all senators.
It takes strength and courage, even when you know that Adam Schiff is right, which I think a lot of them do, to go against a president who you know will be vicious and unrelenting against you.
Now, Susan, thank you. Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer is delivering the official Democrat response to the address. You can watch it live right here on WNY News Now. Well, back here at home, New York could ban retail pet shops from selling dogs, cats, or rabbits as soon as mid-2021, that under a state senator's bill. The state would join Maryland and California and hundreds of municipalities nationwide that have taken the stand to outlaw the sales of those pets. Supporters, including the Humane Society, say the vast majority of pet stores already don't sell cats, dogs, or rabbits. The legalization would impact an estimated 80 pet retail stores across the state. New Yorkers could still buy cats, dogs, and rabbits directly from breeders. Pet stores could face penalties for violating the law, which also allows shops to work with animal shelters or rescue groups to offer animals up for adoption. The bill would become effective a year after it's signed. Well, certainly that's a big one for a lot of people. Hopefully you're all having a good day, and we thank you for joining us here on WNY News Now. Let's check in with the comments and see how everybody's doing. Got to say hello to Craig. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for joining us on the broadcast. Good to see Amy, Lisa, Tracy, Jay. Good afternoon to you. Hello to David, Lori, and Wendy. Hello to Jason and Joe as well. Hopefully you all are having a good day. Let's turn to Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's standing by with a first look at our weather. And Dakota, anytime that I get pets myself, I always try to get them from a place like the Humane Society, because you'll really find some great dogs and cats who are looking for a loving home and have a big heart.
Yeah, and you know, my mom actually got our cat when I was growing up. I had a cat, pardon me, and she got ours at a yard sale. No joke. Not kidding. I won't get into that. That's a long story. Here's a live look from the Erie Sky Vision camera. Pardon me. The Erie Sky Vision camera on top of the Mill Creek Mall. You can see the clouds above at top 36 right now in Erie. That is down from the high from today. As I mentioned earlier, First Defense Doppler radar is absolutely dry on the live sweep, but it will not be staying this way. I think we'll see a little bit of late day precip later today and then tomorrow will be dry. A more impactful storm is heading our way toward the end of the week. We still need to fine-tune that. I told you yesterday how the high temperatures we projected were, I think, conservative. There it is. 49 degrees was the high yesterday, close to 50 in some spots yesterday. Man, it was warm. 38 was the low this morning, but that was early. Temperature rose overnight. This was a low temperature. The temperature actually dropped through the day, is what I meant to say. 33 is the average. 62 and 20 below zero are in the record books for today. So as we take a look at the forecast for the remainder of the afternoon, you can see here, we'll see now what you see back here is not going to be coming our way until later in the day. 30 to 35, this is where we're going to end the day with the temperatures dropping. Mostly cloudy to complete overcast. The temperatures drop through the day with that northwest wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour. That's the culprit why the temperatures are dropping. We'll tell you what we know about that storm coming our way Thursday and Friday. Back to you, Jay.
Alrighty, Dakota, thank you very much. Coming up, how one local group in the Chautauqua region is trying to break the stigma of mental health. A live interview is next. And later, a popular 90s snack will soon be back on the shelves locally. Details in just a bit.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you. When you're on the go, stay in the know by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. Stay up to date on local news, weather, and sports that matter to you. Plus, subscribe to breaking news and weather alerts from the team that puts coverage first. In addition, watch news as it happens with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network. Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
Every cookie sold in the Girl Scout Cookie Program helps girls learn lifelong lessons in people skills, decision making, money management, goal setting, and business ethics. It's amazing how much you can learn from a cookie. The Girl Scout Cookie Program. Think outside the box.
And welcome back to WNY News Now. Mental health can sometimes be a tough topic to discuss, especially when it affects people we love. That's why one nonprofit group in Chautauqua County is trying to break down barriers and bring the conversation to the forefront. Joining us now is Andrew McCoy. He's the EPA manager for Family Service of the Chautauqua region. Andrew, thanks so much for being here today.
Hey, no problem. I just want to make one quick introduction. I am the EAP manager.
EAP?
Yes,
okay.
Employee Assistance Program.
Okay.
Yes.
So first off, I wanted to ask you, because I think a lot of people maybe don't know, what does your group specifically do?
So specifically what we offer is we offer some therapeutic, we offer therapy, not some therapeutic. We offer therapy, we offer counseling to a lot of members of our community. We also offer some school-based counseling as well, and we offer EAP benefits to the employers of our region.
Okay, so with mental health, I mean, it's such a tough topic,
Yes.
I think, for a lot of people. If someone were to, say, have I think the extreme case would probably be like a mental health emergency and they needed assistance, what's the best way that they can get that right now?
Well, realistically, when it comes down to an emergency situation, just like any other organization, we're going to recommend that you call authorities. And if you might need to be hospitalized, you might need to deal with it that way. As far as emergency services, we do offer things like if you're in a really bad situation, you can actually speak on the phone with one of our therapists right on the spot as long as they're available. So we do try to work with individuals who are going through some really tough times. However, if it is one of those extreme cases, then we do have to go through the proper channels, and a lot of that can really wind up being a danger to yourself or others.
But I would imagine if people maybe felt vulnerable in a way, or they just felt like something wasn't quite right with themselves. Probably reaching out to your group and just maybe talking to someone is a really great first step.
Yes, absolutely. So we take phone calls all day, every day. It's just what we're there for. So just if you called our facility and we did have a therapist that was available, then we typically would be able to pass that on to one of our therapists, and so you can actually have somebody that's trained in this to talk to you and talk through this behavior issue.
So let's just say I want to receive some assistance. I call your office and say, I want to schedule an appointment. Is that set up, within a week, within a few weeks? Does it depend on my insurance? How does that
Well,
all work?
our appointments are set up on the spot. Now, depending on what insurance you have and what therapist is available at the time, we can get you either in the same day. Worst case scenario might be a couple weeks, but we typically try to work with the individual and depending on what their need is.
Okay, and then
if it's an extreme case, we want to get you in as soon as possible. That's
absolutely, sure. And I think we talked before the broadcast a little bit, just kind of trying to break down the stigma of it. I know you say that your group generally sees a lot of women.
Oh yes.
And why is that?
I think that's fairly standard throughout really just this whole country. We've grown up in a society where it's women are okay to talk about their feelings, but a lot of children, young boys and men, are just told to man up, and that's just one of the problems with our society and what raised the stigma on mental health.
Certainly, and I think a lot of times to break that down to say, okay, it's okay for a man, really any age, whether it would be, a young man, children, or someone in their 40s, 50s, 60s, I'd imagine mental health specifically can affect anybody at any time.
Oh, absolutely. We work with clients that range from being the youngest of the youngest children to the elderly. It can occur at any time in your life. And one thing that people don't really understand is that you might be the strongest, most mentally willed individual on the planet, but say you're married and your spouse dies. There's no way of knowing how you're going to be able to handle that. Yeah. And that's one thing we really do want to offer, is just it's not about how difficult your situation is. It doesn't matter if it's extreme case or if it's just the most simple case of grief. We just want everybody in our community to know that there are people there for you, and we are here for you. We are here for the members of our community.
Now, in addition to the mental health services that your organization has, you also have that employment assistance program.
Yes.
What is that, and how can businesses in the community help their workers?
Yeah, so essentially the employee assistance program is such a minor investment for all of our business owners around the community. If you are interested in the employee assistance program as a business owner, you can contact me directly. You can go to our website, fscrmentalhealth.com. .org.com. I should know that right now. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
But anyway, so you would be able to just contact me directly, and I would be able to set you up with these benefits. Basically, what these benefits are is we provide employees of our community 5 free therapy sessions per year, and this extends to their families. So if an employee for a company happens to have a wife or a child who is in need to use these services, they can actually use the EAP benefits as well.
Okay. So almost sort of like just an extended arm where you can help your employees get immediate access to service. And that would be aside from like an insurance or something.
Absolutely, yeah. No insurance is involved in this process at all unless you go past what your benefits offer.
Okay.
Now the benefits, just to touch on this real quickly. So we offer those therapy sessions. We also offer budget counseling. We also offer some legal services, and we also offer elder care. So there's a whole variety of things grouped into that.
Yeah, certainly. And coming up in the next week, really here, next Friday, your organization is holding a fundraiser to really help kind of get these services out to people in the community who maybe can't afford that. What is happening next week?
Yes, absolutely. So next Friday on Valentine's Day is our annual fundraiser called Pasta for a Purpose. And Pasta for a Purpose is being hosted at Chautauqua Suites out in Mayville, New York. The reason we're hosting this fundraiser is just that, so we can help children and families in our community receive mental health benefits that they otherwise would be unable to afford. And that is huge, especially in an area here that has so much poverty and There's just so much. There's a lot of poor community. It's a poor community for the most part. I mean, little old Western New York.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, it really is. But groups like yourself certainly working hard to try to combat that. So, Andrew, thanks so much for joining us here.
Thanks for having me
on the broadcast today. We appreciate it. We'll hope to have you back too, so we can talk a little bit more about this issue that is super, super important to people in our community. And to learn more about Family Service of the Chautauqua region, you can visit them at fscrmentalhealth.com. Andrew, thank you so much. Let's shift gears and check in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter, who's standing by with a look at our weather. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, Justin, and hey, Andrew, and I made it without breaking the set apart as I came on the wall. Let's take a look at okay, now my clicker's not going to work. This is great. All right, let's take a look at the current ski conditions here, and just updated this morning, and most everybody is doing good with the bases here. We've got a 12 to 36 inch base at Peak and Peak with a packed powder surface. Holiday Valley, 22 to 59 bases machine groomed. Hollymont, 27 to 57 machine groomed packed powder. And Mount Pleasant, 12 to 18 inches with a packed powder surface there in Mount Pleasant, Pennsylvania. Look at these highs yesterday. 49 was the official high yesterday in Jamestown. 44 Dunkirk, 49 over in Erie. Wellsville officially 50. Countersport, PA 51. Bradford 50. So again, I told you how some spots were likely going to be close to 50 yesterday. And that definitely was the case. But most everybody, upper 40s. That's way above average for this time of the year. Today, none of that. We've got a lot of socked in cloud cover downtown. We're down to 34 from our high today. Our high was actually in the mid 40s. We're down from that today. That's the culprit with that north wind. That north wind is starting to bring in some of that colder air, and the wind chill is down to 29 degrees when you combine it with that north wind of 6 miles per hour. You can see on the satellite imagery, the clouds really just kind of socked in today, and this is really going to be the case. Mostly to complete overcast throughout the day today. This low pressure center, this low pressure area over Oklahoma is going to be part of the next storm system that's coming our way Thursday and Friday. This thing is going to go like that and right up near the East Coast, and we'll tell you what we know on it in just a second. So here's what's coming up today. So hey, temperatures, what are you doing? You're going the wrong way. I mean, you know, the temperatures are dropping through the day today. Late day precipitation later in the day, but that more impactful storm later this week, and we still don't know what exact impacts we could see and how much of what. That still needs to be determined at this point. So here's what we've got. This is mainly going to be the bigger deal on Friday. It's looking like, now we told you about this frontal boundary that's going to stall out near the East Coast. This is the low pressure area that's currently near Oklahoma. The big thing on this is going to be the forward motion. Up here on the banner, we wrote, if the center progresses slow, we'll get snow. If this thing just creeps along the frontal boundary, we're likely going to see snow, and it could be plowable. Now, please understand that's not a guarantee. That could change between now and then, but it's looking like right now, if this thing slows down, then we'll likely see a plowable snow Thursday night going into Friday and Friday night. All of this still needs to be determined. There's a lot of things we don't know yet. This is still, you know, several days out. So again, we'll give you more information on that as we get the better quality data and we have a handle on this. Here's future scan through the day. The model does pick up on the chance of maybe a few rain and snow showers later this afternoon. Now tonight, you can see the model tries to paint more widespread snow. Not really agreeing with that. I think there will be some snow showers later tonight, but I don't think it's going to be that widespread. Kind of pockets on again, off again. Tomorrow should be mainly dry. This is not going to happen. It's trying to paint that little rain shower. That's not going to happen. Now, as we run this all the way out until early Thursday morning, you can see the impacts of that storm system starting to creep in. This is how far out this model goes. But again, you can see that impacts there. The exact track of that still needs to be determined, and again, the impact still unknown at this point. Lake Erie shoreline here for the zone forecast. This is a stark difference from where we were yesterday. Lower 30s, that'll do it. I mean, a cooler day with more clouds than sun out there throughout the day. Inland areas here, same story here. Lower 30s, maybe some upper 20s, definitely possible, especially in the valley locations. Next 7 days of your life are coming up on the screen. 30 tomorrow, 41 on Thursday. Again, we think more rain and snow because of the warmer temperatures. How much snow still needs to be determined on Friday. Cooler for the weekend, only 28 Saturday, 31 Sunday, and a few leftover snow showers to start early next week. Sports is next. Don't go away. Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from Windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
WNY Sports Now is powered by Phone Zone of Jamestown. With the largest inventory around, we buy and sell our own merchandise at a price that can't be beat. Have a broken screen? We'll fix it. Learn more at phonezoneshop.com.
Happy Tuesday, sports fans, and welcome back to WNY News Now. I'm Norm Rodriguez with a look at sports. Tonight at 7:30, the Jamestown Red Raiders varsity girls basketball team will host a conference game versus the Lancaster Legends. Jamestown is currently 9-6 on the season, coming off a 55-26 loss in their last game against the Orchard Park Quakers last Saturday. The varsity girls team will have another game this week after this one, which will be in play on Thursday evening at 6 o'clock against the Lockport Lions. With a 7 o'clock puck drop tonight, the Buffalo Sabres will host the Colorado Avalanche. Buffalo is coming off of a 2-1 overtime victory over the Columbus Blue Jackets in their last game last Saturday. The Sabres are also in 6th in the Atlantic Division with 53 points. 2 points behind the Montreal Canadiens. On the opposing end, Colorado is coming off a 6-3 loss in the hands of the Philadelphia Flyers last Saturday. The Avalanche are in 3rd in the Central Division with 62 points, 2 points behind the Dallas Stars. The game will be televised on MSGB. Sticking with hockey, Gritty, the mascot of the Philadelphia Flyers, who was accused of assaulting a 13-year-old boy 2 weeks ago, was cleared of charges on Monday. The alleged assault occurred during a game on November 19th, in which it was claimed that the 13-year-old was punched by Gritty. Gritty has become one of the fan favorites for a mascot since its debut during the 2018-19 NHL season. The name of the person that dresses in that mascot costume has been kept confidential. That's it for sports today. Back to Justin and Dakota.
All right, Norm, thank you very much. Well, if you're a kid from the 90s, you might recognize these snacks, and you'll be happy to learn they're making a comeback. After years of only being available in Canada, General Mills announced yesterday the relaunch of Dunkaroos here in the United States. And in case you're not familiar, they're cookies that you dunk in separate frosting and sprinkles. And you should see them on store shelves starting this summer. Dakota, Dunkaroos will be available in their most popular flavor, vanilla cookies with vanilla frosting and rainbow sprinkles.
You know, I'm a child of the 90s, even though I say I've been doing weather since the Civil War. I was born in 1994, but it's like I don't remember Dunkaroos.
I agreed with you this morning. When we were talking about having this story in the show, I'm like, oh, this will be great because Dakota will remember it, but
I don't.
I sort of remember.
I don't know if I ever had Dunkaroos.
I sort of remember, but I don't remember them being like candy. Maybe like those pretzel sticks that you dip in the cheese, or they have like the cracker sticks that you dip. Is this like that? That's a good question. I
don't know.
When these are released, we're gonna get some. We'll bring them in and we'll try them.
We'll do a taste test.
Well, that's what I was thinking of with the Bud Light Seltzer yesterday. Yeah. Afterwards, I'm like, duh. I could have brought some Bud Light Seltzer and we could have had a taste test right here on the air.
I don't know how well the consultants would like that
because
it does have alcohol in it, so I don't know how well they'd like that.
Who cares? Who cares?
Oh, Jay.
Hello to David. They can't fire me, okay? Yeah. My contract is really good. Hello to Rebecca. Cindy, good afternoon to you. Thanks for being here. Hello to Renee, Danny as well. Earlier, you mentioned your mom got a cat from the garage sale. My mom did too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the cat Bella we had for a long time. Recently passed away. Rest in peace, Bella. But best cat ever.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd be surprised what they give out at garage sales. But not pet stores if this law goes into effect. So.
Although, I don't remember Dunkaroos, but I do remember the Wonder Ball. Remember that?
What's the Wonder Ball?
The Wonder Ball? It was a big chocolate ball, and it had like candy inside of it.
Okay.
Now it first had like prizes inside of it, like toys.
Yeah.
But they got sued because of a choking hazard, so they put candy inside of it. The Wonder Balls.
The Wonder Ball.
That was good stuff right there.
Well, hey.
Let's reminisce about the 90s.
Gotta love it. Thank you, Dakota.
You're welcome.
That's going to do it for us today. Of course, news continues 24/7 at WNY News Now. Hopefully, have a great afternoon. We leave you with a shot over Chautauqua Lake and the clouds that are out there right now. Enjoy the day. We'll see you tomorrow.